Orly.
I'm here.
She's here.
I'm here
right
to do that.
She's here. I wasn't sure if we were doing a high five there or not.
I was raising my hand, but I'll never leave you hanging.
By the way, I love these.
Thanks.
This Christmas present decor can go anywhere, especially on a mantle.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, the thing that I think is great about this is that we're doing it now, right? So it's obviously a little early. We're getting close to Christmas, but it's still early. So this is such an easy thing for us to store because this is just wood. So you can stack them up, put them in a box. It's not something that needs to be, delicate and padding and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. And there's all the different styles. You can see on this very first one, it's gold on gold. So this is gold paint with gold foiling. I did all metallics.
So good.
This is just a sponge that we created different polka dots. Here, I taped off, I painted silver, taped off, and added like a delicate fine powder. So it creates a slightly different reflective surface. So no matter what you're doing, you can create something that's really custom, and it really does look beautiful. Totally fit whatever your aesthetic is gonna be for Christmas.
And you had me at easy to store, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's fantastic. Look how good it looks. Yeah. And you're right, you just kind of stack them up, put them anywhere.
Stack those suckers up.
So to start it all off, obviously we got to start with a piece of wood, a little piece of plywood.
Yes.
Cut it to shape.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something you can either have cut for you at the hardware store or you can cut it yourself. You just want to alternate sizes and shapes, so squares and rectangles.
Right.
That would be the sizes you'd expect to see in presents. Then you're going to give it a light sanding so that it's going to receive the paint really well.
Okay, good.
And take a little extra time on these edges so that it's not, sometimes it'll get like crunchy.
Right, right.
So
You want to sand that down a little bit. What about a special kind of paint? Would you recommend any paint in particular?
So Cameron, actually, the type of paint is whatever you want to do. Really what I would say is just pick a color scheme. Maybe pick 3 colors and work with those 3 colors, and you're going to repeat them over and over again. Type of paint, totally up to you.
Okay, great. And then from that, there's little designs like the stencils and...
Exactly. So here's our first one. You can see that it's just been painted gold. I used a simple craft paint to paint it with a metallic gold.
Great.
And now I'm going to take some painter's tape. And the design that I want to do here is a mix of stripes and a mix of stenciling. And I've got a really cool trick to create nice, clean stripes when you're using painter's tape. And I learned it because my first one did not come out this way.
Because you tried to do it freehand?
No, I taped it off, but when I peeled back my paint, it had bled. All underneath. I had to go in by hand and touch it up, which, is annoying. Why take the time to do this if it's not going to work?
So you do a solid paint underneath, then the tape on top of that. And
now,
then what do we do from there?
We're going to paint on top of it. This seals it in, so now these edges are perfectly sealed, and it's not gonna, when we do our next coat, once this is dry, no paint is gonna be able to get underneath those edges because I'm sealing it with the same color. And even if this color goes under the edges, it doesn't matter because it's the same color.
It's the same color. It's genius. I love it.
So here we go. We would do this. Now you would let it dry.
Okay.
This one right here, if we move over one, it has been dried.
Okay, so we've got the
this
two
is ready to go.
The 2 stripes there, but also the stencil. So do we?
Yeah.
Are we good
so
there?
What I'm going to do now is first I want to create a stripe. So I'm going to be adding in a little bit of silver right here first. Right? So we add in silver because where I peel away the tape is going to be gold.
Of course.
So I want to make sure that that stands out. So first you would do this. In real time, you would actually let this dry before your stencil, but for the sake of time now, I'm gonna do them all at once.
And that's how you get your stripes, actually. Okay, so now we're gonna jump to the stencil, but normally we would have let this dry. Okay,
yeah, you would let it dry because you might, let's say, use something large over the whole thing and you don't wanna get the paint on there. I'm gonna use this small one for right now. And using an adhesive spray like this is really important because this is going to make sure that your stencil, it's like a perfect seam.
Okay.
So once I lay this on now, I'll lay the stencil down.
A bit of a light adhesive though, right?
Yes.
You want, this is something obviously we want to be able to remove without too much...
Exactly.
Okay.
So now I would sponge this in. And because we use the adhesive, it's gonna create another barrier to make sure that the paint doesn't seep underneath.
Okay,
right?
great.
So you would do this process, finish it. Once you peel this one off, you can fill in the space if the stencil wasn't large enough.
I love
Now, Cameron, I'm gonna ask you to do the honors because it is an incredibly satisfying process.
I love how you bring me in just for like the really
Exactly. Would you please peel from right here? The moment of truth.
I have that in me, Orly.
The moment of truth.
The moment of truth.
Oh,
look at that,
mama.
Everybody.
Okay, so now
that was all me, by the way. Can I just point that out?
Our stencil is done. That was. I feel like you worked so hard on this all morning, and I just wanted you to have.
Yeah. Sure.
And look, now here's our next part.
Right?
Look at the clean line.
Yeah,
and that is because
feels so good.
That is only because we did that double paint, because I will tell you, I did this before and the lines were absolutely not that clean. So this is really cool. This now creates a double pattern. We have our solid on this side and our print down here. It looks super custom. And now it's the final detail. You're gonna grab a little Hallmark ribbon and we're just going, you can decide here however you wanna do it, right? Like you can wrap it just like you would wrap a regular present. So I'm gonna grab it over the front here.
You want me to hold it? I can do that too.
That would be great.
I can peel stencils.
I forgot you're here to help me.
Well, you know, that's part of why I'm here.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I mean,
you
look
have
how
more
good this
jobs,
looks.
but
honestly,
I cut this a little long.
That's impressive.
That's okay.
So you get your ribbon going like that. There it is. You get the idea, everybody. Full instructions.
Exactly.
Check out hallmarkchannel.com. It'll all be there. And Orly, I'm very impressed with all my hard work.
You really killed it, Cameron.